We made the new law, and you shall comply with the new law, or we will take you and we will break you.
I must break you. Comply now. Complain later. Comply now. Complain later.
Imagine being a police officer and enforcing a law that creates a situation where you have no obligation to provide any kind of transparency to the public. That's what this law is. There's this new law that was passed in Indiana called House Bill 1186. This is it right here. We'll just go ahead and read it, and then we're going to watch this video where this woman broke this law, and they arrested her, and the district attorney took a look at it and was like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do that. It looks pretty unconstitutional. Let's give her a break this time. This is House Bill 1186. It's called the Encroachment on an Investigation. House Bill 1186 says it provides that a person who knowingly or intentionally approaches within 25 feet of a law enforcement officer after the law enforcement officer has ordered the person to stop commits a Class C misdemeanor, and they can collect on this. This is a ka-ching for them. Remember, what laws are is the opinions of politicians backed by the threat of force, and here are the authors, the co-sponsors of this bill right here. So these people right here, they created a law which is now going to be backed by the threat of force. So the two things that a law does is it takes away your freedoms, your unalienable rights, and it creates a situation where the state can fill their coffers with more of your money, because this is going to cost you $500 and time in jail and court costs. So it specifies that emergency incident area may include an area of 25 feet in all directions from the perimeter of an emergency incident area. This over here says earlier this year, House Bill 1186 passed, which made it a law. It is a law that a police officer could ask a bystander to back up 25 feet from where they're questioning someone, making an arrest, or conducting any kind of police business. If the bystander disobeyed, they could be charged with a Class C misdemeanor and face a $500 fine and or 60 days, 2 months behind bars. Why? Because you decided to exercise your constitutionally protected right of freedom of press. So what they've created in this 25-foot zone is a press-free zone. This is, with regard to your freedom of the press, your unalienable right to freedom of the press, there is no such right in that 25-foot area if a cop says, hey, you need to back up and go beyond 25 feet. How is this consistent with cops constantly saying that they welcome transparency. They welcome accountability. This is an accountability, transparency-free zone. And this woman right here broke that law right after it went into effect. Listen to this.
And we begin here at 4 o'clock with breaking news. In the last 30 minutes, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office confirmed it will not file charges against a woman arrested for breaking the new 25-foot law. This all stemmed from an incident Monday when Lawrence police were making an arrest on North Franklin Road.
Mary Nichols says she saw the police lights across the street and grabbed her phone to record. And during the arrest, she says that she stayed at least 25 feet away. That's what police say.
And when you're recording, remember, you're doing two things. You're providing accountability and transparency to the police department, who says they want accountability and transparency, and you're protecting the person who may become a victim of the cops, so that you can have a recorded document to show the court how bad the cops treated this individual.
Actually, and was not,
or how good the cops treated the individual. I mean, if you're a good cop, you should have nothing to hide. If you're a good cop, there's no way you would enact this new law 1186.
Trying to get closer.
But when they moved the suspect onto an ambulance, Nichols moved up and she was told to move 25 feet away.
I'm trying to record in the back of the ambulance. They told me to step back. I took one step.
Cannot believe how much she looks like Beetlejuice Lightfoot from Chicago, the former mayor of Chicago.
Back, I took one step and they grabbed me. I think it was wrong. It was like I said, their police action was over. He was in the ambulance. I was outside the ambulance, unarmed completely. All I had was my camera.
So after reviewing the arrest, the prosecutor's office decided Nichols did not interfere with the investigation or the efforts of medics to provide care.
In a statement, their office says the law must be applied judiciously and deliberately to strike a balance between the rights of citizens to observe police and the need for officers to execute.
Strike a balance between the rights of citizens and the need for officers to execute their duties free from undue interference. What is interference? What have we learned about interference? Interference and obstruction is a physical act. You can't perform a physical act 10 feet away from a traffic stop, 5 feet away from a traffic stop if you're just sitting there recording. See, the further they get you away, the less clear your video is going to be, and you probably won't be able to record any kind of audio unless you have a serious sound device. But I wanted to show you also this right here. This is more in depth because we actually get the captain is speaking on this one right here, the police captain.
An Indianapolis woman tonight thinks she was in the right after getting arrested for being within 25 feet of a working police officer. That's something that became illegal this past summer. Tonight, our John Duran.
That's such a joke. It wasn't illegal before, but now it is illegal because we say it's illegal. You weren't considered and when they say illegal, they're actually considering you a criminal for breaking that law, whereas before you weren't a criminal. So now what have they done? They've sprinkled the magic pixie dust during the legislative process, these politicians, and they hammered out what they call a law. It's not really a law, it's just their opinion. And then they hand it down to the enforcers. And now any enforcer who enforces this so-called law, this opinions of politicians backed by the threat of force, shows themselves to be not a good police officer, but a very bad police officer, because now they're creating a criminal out of somebody who's just an innocent person standing there exercising their unalienable rights. It's ridiculous.
And talked with the woman and police about this new law.
Don't answer any more questions.
Mary Nichols saw police lights at this gas station Monday and grabbed her phone.
I'm like, well, let me go and
Cops do not like that. When you're standing off the scene or close to the scene saying, hey, giving a little bit of advice, some constitutional advice to somebody, hey, take the fifth, don't say anything. The more you say, the more they data collect and data mine you, and they use your words against you in a court of law and try to find you to be guilty. So the more you talk, the worse it's going to be for you, the deeper you dig your grave. Cops hate it when you give people that kind of advice.
and take a look and film this and see what's going on.
Court records show police were executing a warrant arrest. Nichols originally set up more than 25 feet from officers.
They kept telling me to move back. I moved back some. And then they all got together and put him in the ambulance. I'm trying to record in the back of the ambulance. They told me to step back. I took one step and they grabbed me.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
In video Nichols provided us, you can hear an officer give a warning.
Ma'am, you need to back up 25 feet or you're going to go to jail.
Yeah. This is an ambulance. This is not your police.
Then she's put in.
Imagine saying that. Ma'am, you need to back up 25 feet or we're going to put you in a cage? What? This is off the charts.
In handcuffs for unlawful encroachment on an investigation.
I think it was wrong. Because like I said, their police action was over. He was in the ambulance. I was outside the ambulance, unarmed completely. All I had was my camera.
Police say the new law is for the safety of everyone.
So it's well within a citizen's right to record those events. It's just a matter of encroaching up and creating the environment where a secondary issue could occur.
The safety of the people will always be the alibi of tyrants. This guy right here telling his underlings that they can enforce this 25-foot law is a tyrant. Make no mistake about it.
Creating the environment where a secondary issue could occur.
The only felony Nichols was arrested for was escape because she slipped one of her hands out of the handcuffs she was wearing because, as she said, they were on too tight.
But I did not run. I never took a step, not one.
Nichols says she'll keep recording.
I think more people should get the cameras out. I wish somebody had a camera and recorded my arrest.
And that's what it's all about. I wish somebody else had a camera and recorded my arrest. But here's the thing. If they were within 25 feet recording her arrest, then they could be put in jail for exercising their First Amendment rights. And then, 25 feet isn't enough. Wow, it's not enough. We need to make it 40 feet, 55 feet, 100 feet. Man, everybody needs to evacuate the area whenever we do a traffic stop. It can get very ridiculous very quick. It's already ridiculous.
Police just offer a little guidance.
I think the biggest advice would be to comply now. Complain later if you feel like you need to complain.
Court records show Nichols is due in court Friday. In Indianapolis, John Duran, 13 News.
Comply now, complain later, this guy says.
To comply now. Complain later if you feel like you need to complain.
Comply with our unconstitutional violation of natural law and your unalienable rights. Comply now. Just roll over. Just do what we tell you to do and then hammer it out in the injustice system later. This 25-foot rule is a clear violation of the First Amendment. I don't see how it couldn't be. And the fact that it's not struck down already is cause for great concern. And the fact that it's in one state already and another state nearby will go, hey, that's a great idea. We're not telling people they can't record. We're just saying you can't record here. It's like a gun-free zone. Hey, we're not telling you can't carry a firearm, in other places. You just can't carry it in the post office. You can't carry it within 1,000 feet of a school. You can't carry it in a federal building. What are they telling you? This is a Constitution-free zone. This is a Constitution-free zone. And as long as we keep accepting these Constitution-free zones, they'll keep pushing those zones out further and further and further. And pretty soon they'll be telling you, no, you got rights. You just don't have them in America anymore. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you haven't done so already and you want to support the channel, the links are in the description, or you can grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design. You can put it on anything. And also, you can become a channel member. But the big takeaway from this is the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And because we're not eternally vigilant, you have things like House Bill 1186, which is constantly seeking to take away more and more of our rights. So I will see you guys in the next video.